Hey you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening to today's episode of Ordinary the Podcast. It's your host, Chiwendo Perpetua Odimwe. Okay, on today's episode of Ordinary, remember at the beginning of this season 4, I said that I'll be bringing some women on, like there's a show I do on radio called The Victorious Woman. So today's show would be featuring an interview I did with an amazing woman on radio. But rest assured that today's episode of Ordinary, you have the stories, you have the inspiration, and you have everything you need for a good 30 minutes show. Let's get into Victorious Woman. Let's go. Good evening and welcome to The Victorious Woman right here on your numero uno radio station. I'm talking about Invicta 98.9 FM. If this is your first time listening to us, The Victorious Woman is a show where we bring women on. They tell their stories and their stories of impact, hoping to transform the way you see yourself and the impact you might also be making in our society. Remember, I love getting feedback on this show. So to give us a feedback, you can easily head to our Facebook page at Invicta 98.9 FM. Drop us a message in our inbox and be rest assured we'll be reading it. Or you can send me a message privately on Instagram at the Chiwendo or Facebook at Chiwendo Odimwe. I'll be your host today. My name is Chiwendo Perpetua Odimwe. I already have my Victorious Woman in the studio and she is glowing and radiating with ease and elegance. Let's get into who she is. My Victorious Woman today is a powerhouse of multiple achievements. As a young entrepreneur, skincare therapist, businesswoman, author, motivational speaker, and educator, she defies societal limitations with her drive and diverse expertise. Holding degrees from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria, Federal College of Education, Zaria, and diplomas in entrepreneurship and finance, she is the manager of Kegis Conglomerate, which consists of Kegis Gym, Kegis Organic World and Spa, Kegis Gift World, and Kegis Laundry. There is a little chance that you might have seen her business on your way to somewhere. Recognized both locally and internationally for her contributions, she is a shining example of female empowerment in an African context. She is happily married to Mr. Yakubu Yari. Our Victorious Woman today proves that personal and professional success can coexist harmoniously. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands aren't too busy, help me welcome my trailblazing Victorious Woman today. Her name is Mrs. Rachel Obi Yari. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I love it's like when you enter a place, you just light up the room. I love your presence here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to our studio. Now
You're
let's
welcome.
kick off the conversation today. Looking back on your journey, what were some of the most significant challenges you faced in building your career, particularly in light of societal expectations for women?
Wow. Thank you for the privilege and thank you, Invicta FM, for having me on The Victorious Woman. And to every woman listening, thank you. It promises to be a very impactful moment with my host, Chiwendo. Thank you once again. Woo! Talking about challenges in this context and in this part of the world, most definitely when you listen to one of my major business, which is the Kegis Spa and Gym, there's a whole lot of challenges in the northern region of Nigeria and in Kaduna State. I happen to be the one that changed the narrative about the whole spa industry. For this particular question, I'm going to most likely limit it to the spa and the gym aspect of my business. Now, running a spa where you have to massage both the male and the female gender was a whole shocking and blasphemous, and up to yesterday I was hearing strange things about what people felt like I do until when you encounter me, and that's when you come to understand that no, it's not what we think. Though in the midst of the challenges and blaspheming and all sorts of informations, I think one of my major advantage in the industry was the fact that I and my husband are involved in the business. It gave me an edge and an advantage in this business, coming to realization of the fact that okay, this spa is just a therapy, it's just a wellness activity, is nothing more than that. For Kegis, is nothing more than that. It took me the extra to be able to achieve this. But what I knew why I started, and what was the reason why I started. My reason why I even started the spa was not about money. It was just about wellness beyond medication. I looked beyond all of the castigation, all of the names I was being given to. I just looked at why did you start it. The first thing I see myself as is a medical personnel.
Interesting. So even with the opinions, the castigation that came with it, I could already hear the conviction you have had for your business, it's making me want to ask you, what was that inspiration? Because it is inspiration births conviction, your belief in what you want to do. What was your inspiration for starting Kegis?
Okay, my inspiration for starting Kegis was having a business that can thrive the test of time and win. That was my inspiration, because I took over Kegis at the point where it was almost dying. It was a business that belonged to my husband before we got married, and after all of his challenges in life, he wanted to shut down the business because the business was not making profit. The business could not even pay her staff. So I took it from him and I told him, sir, please, can you just give me 6 months? Let me run this business, because I got to believe that as a woman, nothing is expected to die in my hands. So that was how I collected Kegis. So that was my inspiration. Like, I am a woman. I am meant to carry life. I am meant to incubate. I am meant to bring to life, and that life is not expected to die in my hand. So that was the mentality and the words that I told my head, and I told myself, Rachel, you could do it. And today, I did it.
I love that mindset of you're a woman. Nothing should die in your head.
Exactly.
God. And I just wish that a lot of women could know that when given a seed, they have the capabilities. Like, God has given you the potentials to see that seed bloom.
True.
I wish a lot of women would know that. Now, let's talk about mentors and role model, because I believe Mrs. Rachel didn't just wake up one day and had that entrepreneurial mindset, or the mindset of, oh, I have the capabilities of making a seed grow and be fruitful. Who are the people that inspired you and your mentors?
Okay, while growing up, I was lucky enough to grow up under a mom who was a businesswoman. My mom is a business tycoon to date, like a hardworking businesswoman. I saw my mom then growing up. We travel all the way from Kaduna to the southern part of Nigeria just to get oil in drums. She'll get gari in bags. She'll get a whole lorry of plantain. She was that much of a businesswoman, and we grew up. She involved us in her business. I could remember after my JSS3 junior WAEC, I traveled only me and a driver to Cross River to go get oil, and that was one of my most challenging experience and journey I've ever had. I cried in between. There were times where I felt like, why is she suffering me? But today, those were some of the things that made me. So in business, my mom is my number one role model, who pushed me and made me believe you could do it right. Yes, today I'm doing it in the technical and advanced way. She's still doing it like the market woman that she is. But in our both measures of doing it, we are cashing out and we are making good ends out of it. Also, I think it took me about 3 years to search for a mentor that I could look up to and call this on my mentor, because I didn't just want to just go into anybody. I was looking out for a woman that was making it in life. She was making it in business. She was multitasking. She was godly, and at the same time, she was submissive to her husband. The last part was my major part, because it is believed that, in quote, most successful women are stubborn women. They don't submit. You can't talk to them. Some don't get married and all. So I needed a woman that could fill in this space, because those were first of all my beliefs. And if you cannot fill all of these, then you cannot be my mentor. And I came across one, Madam ST. I give her kudos anytime. She filled this space. She was a woman that was hardworking. She was godly. She was multitasking, and she was still submissive to her husband. So I went closer. She tutored me. She made me understand how this can be, and she made me understand the place of priority and one thing at a time. You don't carry everything at the same time. So she mentored me for a long period of time. I have plenty mommies around me. Mommy Alima Aminuzaria is one woman that for every time I speak with her, I am edified. I have reasons to do more. I pick a word from one thing that she's saying. We are not from the same religion. We are not the same age mate in any way. But I make sure at every time I'm privileged to talk to her, I was able to identify her strength for inspirational words. So I picked her as one of my role models. Whenever I talk to her, I have something to learn. Then I am careful with choosing my friends. If you cannot make me, I cannot make you, then there's no need of friendship. I cannot call you my friend. I go study about your life. Today, world that where we find ourselves is women are looking for women that have money, or men that have money. If he has money, he's my mentor. If she has money, she's my mentor. No, mentorship is beyond money. I have a role model, one of my role models, mommy, in perseverance and endurance in marriage. Now, I can just have so many role models because there's one aspect of your life that I admire, and I go to you, I pick your strength in that place and I work with it. I think that's one of my major strengths that is almost looking like Rachel is almost like a perfect woman. Yeah. She's pretending. No, I identify women's strengths and I pick. Yeah, people think I pretend. And I'm a sanguine because I'm a realist. So I don't know how. Probably because I've been able to filter my life in a way that is almost looking like there's no shaft. So it's work, it's hard work, it's deliberate and conscious work that have made me where I am. And also mentorship is good. Look out for the strength of your mentor, of a person in your field, in your career, in family life, in every aspect of your life, and go close to them, ask the right questions, look out to getting. My mentor don't give me money. Unless if I have something to do, they will not say, okay, daughter, you are doing well, take. But I get what money cannot buy from them. Their wisdom, their ability, their perseverance, their push, their strength. That's what I need. Me, I will gather all of those things and hustle for the money myself.
What I'm hearing you say is that when it comes to mentorship, how women can get mentors. So you have to actually know yourself to know the kind of mentors you need.
Exactly.
So what are the things you are doing with your own life, and what are the values you aspire to gain? Look out for the people in your environment that has those values and cling to them.
Exactly.
Okay. You're a motivational speaker. Let's say this. On March 1, 2025, you hosted an event called The Real She Power with its theme
Become.
I need to say something about that theme. So, Michelle Obama has a book called Becoming.
Okay.
When I saw the flyer for that event, and I saw Become, I just paused for a moment. I said, there is so much power in just that word, become, for women to come into who they really are. It's almost my life's mission, or something I want to always tell women, that God has put a lot of things into you, and at some point you have to rise to the occasion of becoming what God has made you. So I want to know, what was the inspiration behind making that theme Become and behind hosting that event?
Okay, the first March event that held at Epitom Banawa was not its first edition. It was the fourth edition of the Real She Power conference. It's a biannual conference. And the theme Become came from the place of the misconception of becoming. What people see as you've become may not really be it. Then some get to a certain point in their life that they feel like, this is all I could be. Let me just pause here and just enjoy it. Then there's a misconception between the Gen Zs and the old school mom. So if you see all of our panel sessions, we were adding up the old school mamas and the younger wives, the Gen Z younger wives, and everybody was bringing their own ideology about different aspects of life. That's the idea. Like, it's almost like the Gen Zs are just doing it their own way and it's becoming too much. The old schools just believe it is their own orientation and believes that is the right ones. So I wanted to bridge that gap and bring a balance to the fact that in becoming, not what you think is become. It is, there is more that you could be. There is more that is in you. There is more that you carry, and you can become all and much more that God has always created you for you to become. Because women just feel like, I have the followers. These are the Gen Zs now. I get the likes. How many followers do you have on TikTok, on Instagram? And who are the people following you on your YouTube and all? It's beyond that. What impact are you making? What do you intend to leave for posterity? When you are no more, what would they know you for? Is it for the followers or for what? It has never been said that she's been known because she had so numbers of followers. It is your impact, the value you have to give to the society, that we make people know that why she existed during her time. There was once a woman who was once this. We can never forget Mary Celeste. Every twin today, we bless the day that Mary Celeste made up her mind to become that woman that we stand and say the killing of twin in Africa must stop. She's no more. Years after, her name still live on. That is a woman that became a figure, a phenomenal woman, a victorious woman during her time. And to date, we can still make reference to her and various other women in different sectors that we have. That is what it really takes for women to become. And that was the orientation we needed to pass on to women in our little capacity. And with the testimonies that we got, wow, every €1 that I spent hosting that event was worth it. But meanwhile, the reason for biannual is for me to gather my resources as a businesswoman, gather money and host the next one. If today I see an NGO or a government that decides to say, Rachel, take this amount of money, do it every month, I will. Really? I am born to make impact. I'm a woman of impact. I can post any aspect of my life just to make impact. So the reason why I made it biannual is being real to myself. I cannot raise the funds every year. So I gather the funds within 2 years and I host my event, because I am first of all the visionary, so I am the first sponsor of that event.
That is really inspiring, because I thought, biannual it was, it's a flex day, but seeing that you are the person financing it and you need to gather your, finances on it. It is really inspiring. And I hope in years to come, you see people that will sponsor your vision and believe in the impact you're making. Let's go on this commercial break. When we come back, we still have Mrs. Rachel Yari. She'll be giving an advice to women who are hesitant to pursue their entrepreneurial journey. We'll go on this commercial break. We'll be right back. If for the longest time you have been the smallest in the room, you're the person behind the scenes, like, do you even know the sound of your voice? What do I sound like? And you have stories, ideas, and opinions buzzing in your head. It is time for you to level up. This is the place for you. You are the main character here, and your story matters. I am Chiwendo, and this is Ordinary. This is Ordinary. Alright, welcome back. You're still listening to The Victorious Woman right here on your Victor 98.9 FM. I still have my victorious woman here. Her name is Mrs. Rachel Yari, and I'm still your host, Chiwendo Perpetua Odinwe. Now, let me ask you, Mrs. Rachel. A lot of women are hesitant to enter a lot of industries. It's not even about business now. Be it politics, be it calling their shots in whatever organization they are in. They see themselves less. So what advice, as a woman that has a lot, you call it a conglomerate, a lot of businesses, what is your advice to women that are hesitant to start their entrepreneurial journey?
What I will advise you is, as a woman, nothing dies in your hands. If this will stay with you, you will not hesitate to start anything you want to start in life. All you just need, I like the way this program is going, with Hit Mentor. If you feel like you are, is fear that is gripping you, get a mentor in the field that you think can be your strength. Identify your strength. Your strength can be selling kunu. Your strength can be selling akara. There's a woman in this Kaduna that have sold akara and built a house. There are women that have sold kunu and trained their children in university. So get to know, how did you do it? How are you doing it? Have you been able to stay this year in this business? Get to know their force. They say follow who no road. But see, when no road don't see say whole day. When you reach there, go tell you say whole day. Oh yeah, jump. You no go fall. That's the idea. So the idea is get a mentor, get to follow the person that have passed through that journey, and it will be easier for you. Believe in yourself. I tell women, if we could carry life inside us for 9 good months, a life is growing. First month, second month, your body system is changing. Everything about you is changing. You could go through and you are still standing. And one fateful day, you bring out that life. Whether through CS, whether through normal delivery, all it's you bringing a life into life. Then there is nothing that you cannot bring to life, because you don't know what's happening inside your system at that point. But what? You are just pushing through the day. Each day, first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, till the fateful day you bring that child to life. That's how everything in your life. Is it political dream? Is it the aspiration for you to be a successful businesswoman? Is it for you to be a good time housewife that will raise great generation? You want to write a book? You want to be a public speaker? Whatever you intend to be in life, you can become that. Just get a mentor. Believe in yourself. If you need to write it down, write it down. Plan your strategy. Be realistic with yourself, and you move on. Meanwhile, it is okay for you to start small, but it is not okay for you to stay small. You start small and you grow big. That's where we are.
I will chisel that word. Nothing can die in your hands. So I'll write it everywhere around me. Everywhere. Because that is a very big mindset to have. Once you have that, believing that you can never fail.
Yes.
Everything is already beautiful. Like, I'm already exclaiming, I'm shaking within. So you are married and you're doing so well. Most people will see you as ambitious, but your home front is still, excellent.
Very, very.
Some women think that they can't do what you're doing without getting married. So what is your advice to women that are ambitious and hesitant to getting married?
Okay, the truth is, marriage is a very, very lovely aspect of a woman's life. When it comes, please embrace it. To me, my marriage is the most important aspect of my life after salvation on earth. For me, this is my own belief, and this is how I rank it. Salvation, marriage, business. That marriage has to do with my husband, my family, my parents, my siblings, my in-laws, and everybody that stands in the place of a family around me. What makes you think you cannot be submissive and still be a successful woman? I tell women, I kept emphasizing, in fact, this was the key word during the conference, choose well. Young lady, it is okay for you to be choosy, but what are your bases for choosing? Get a man that aligns with your dream. Get a man that believes in your growth. Get a man that understands the fact that you will become more. That the you he's just seeing now, there is a bigger you out there. That is the kind of man you should give yes to, not just anybody that just comes. I remember one time of my life, a man said he's not interested in me again because of what? He saw my booklet, my gold book, and he saw that at 25, I was saying I was going to buy a plot of land, I was going to buy car, I was going to buy some gold jewelries as investment. And he was like, where do I intend to get that kind of money if I was not going to follow men? Is it this my bedsheet that I was buying, that I was selling then, that would give me the money to buy those properties and all? Guess what? I lost that relationship because of insecurity. The man could not handle my tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned. But I was not bothered. The heartbreak was supposed to break me, but it made me. First of all, I went for shopping, I went for photo shoot, I became a better woman. And I started telling myself, I will use this business and buy these things that he felt like this business could not buy. At my 200 level, I took Okada on a very fateful day. I walked round Zaria then. I was in ABU. And I was copying the names of hotels. What did I do? I wrote proposal to supply those hotels, bedsheets and curtains then. And I got 2 proposals. That 2 proposals gave me a profit that helped me to get a car as a student. In my 400 level, I got a car for myself from that same business that a man let me and ran me down that I could not. But what? That man could not fit into my future nor my present. And I left him. Will I kill myself? I couldn't have been able to force myself to him. But what? I settled down. I went through 4 heartbreak, major. I wore 3 engagement rings. There was a time that I bought wedding gown. The next Ship Hour is going to be about my story, and everybody will hear different aspects of my life.
Can't wait to attend.
It's closer than you think. Do you understand? Yeah. But it didn't break me. For every time I had a heartbreak, it made me stronger. It made me become all that I needed to be. Because I kept telling myself he cannot just handle my tomorrow. But when the right man came, a very matured man, a very understanding man, a man that will push me and hold my hands and tell me, babe, you can do it. Together, we can do it. I will help you through. I'm with you in this. My husband is always saying that, honey, we are in this together. We are in this together. That was the statement I needed. I married, I was over 30, but I got what I wanted. The waiting was worth it. All the deniers, my cousin tagged me names. I'm choosy, I'm this, I'm that. I don't know how to beg a man. I'm full of myself. That was not it. I knew where I was going. And these men were not going there. I needed somebody that will ride with me and let's flow together. And in no time, this is where I am. So I married my own. You too can marry your own. Don't compromise standard because of what you want to fit in. You just want to wed. My sister, the marriage is different from wedding. And if you are scared that, there's no man on earth that can accept me, that's not true. I have one. My friends have some. And there are many others there that are ready to accept you. Just be real to what you're doing. Just make sure what you're doing is real, is legit, is godly. There's no man that will not support growth.
Powerful statements there. And I'll add to that, when we love someone so much, we think that, we don't want to lose this person because we cannot find any other person. Have you figured that when you have left that person, you eventually find somebody else that is so much better than that person?
Yes.
And I'm so much in awe of women that are promoting the standards now. I mean, look at Diary of a Niger Girl. She waited. People called her all sorts of names, but she waited for the right man. A man that aligns with your value.
Very true.
Do not settle for less. Choose wisely. And that is very, very powerful. Now, to wrap up today's conversation, what are your future aspirations? What is that legacy you want to leave behind? When they hear Mrs. Rachel Obi-Yari, what do you want to be imprinted in the minds of people?
As I am in life, I already know what God has made me for, to make impacts. And I want to raise a generation of young women where women can stand and say, it was when I had an encounter with Rachel that I got to understand my purpose for life. At my encounter at her conference, I got to pick a word and it made me who I am today. At my encounter with Rachel, I got to realize that as a woman, I can be more. My essence in life is to make significant impact in the life of my world. Let it be written that when Rachel was alive, if Rachel was here, she will never say it is not possible. If Rachel was here, she will always say you can become it. If Rachel was here, she will always say you can develop it. That is what I want to be known for. To give hope to the hopeless. To make women understand that you can become all. To make women understand that you can be important. You can be successful and still be submissive. I want to raise a woman with the right mindset about life. Because I got to understand that a woman has a major role to play in life generally. Because the children, while growing up, they are more with her. So whatever she knows is what she will pass on to the children. She can't give what she don't have. So that male and female children, once the mother is one that knows it all, just be rest assured, the children will be well raised. So that is why my focus is more about women women can be all that God has expected them to be, regardless of your background, your religion, your upbringing, or your beliefs. It takes you to be all that you want to be, not all of these other factors.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Rachel.
You're welcome.
You are truly a powerhouse. Now, one thing I got from this conversation that it would never leave my mind is, as a woman, nothing dies in your hands. You have the ability to make that seed bloom and be fruitful. Never forget that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
To you that listened to us today, I hope this transformed you. This, reignited a fire in you, made you want to go out and do something with your life. I'm already going out to go and conquer the world. Yeah, I know. I'm your host. My name is Chiwa, the perpetual Odewell. Until next time, Victorious Woman makes a return on your numero uno radio station. I'm talking about Invicta 98.9 FM every 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Until next time, be the light in the darkness and go out into the world and bear fruit. From I and Mrs. Rachel, we are saying bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.